How to spiritually prepare for divine union, peace, and blessings. You are entering a sacred space. Let's begin by grounding ourselves in the Hermetic principles, ancient spiritual laws that govern the seen and unseen world. These include the law of mentalism, the law of correspondence, and the law of vibration. Understanding these principles helps us realize that spiritual preparation isn't random, it's patterned, intentional, and aligned with divine law. This is not about finding anyone. This is about becoming the person your divine mission mate can recognize, honor, and build legacy with. We begin with breath. Inhale deeply. Exhale fully. Release the past. Open your heart. Let's set the spiritual foundation. This is not a podcast. This is not a trend. This is a sacred transmission. A prophetic recalibration. You're not just here to be loved. You are here to be known. Seen in the deepest chambers of your soul. To be accepted and activated. There is a kind of union that was written for you before you were born. It is not built on chemistry, performance, or preference. It is built on mission, maturity, and mutual reverence for the divine. This is what we are calling in. And this is what we are preparing for. Let us begin by setting the Hermetic principle of correspondence in place, as above, so below. As within, so without. If you seek divine union externally, you must first create it internally. In the metaphysical realm, which means beyond the physical, where energy, spirit, and unseen forces operate, divine union is an alchemical fusion, a sacred blending of polar energies that reflects universal harmony. Polar energies refer to complementary forces that exist in nature and within each of us, masculine and feminine, giving and receiving, action and stillness, logic and intuition. These energies are not about gender, but about function and essence. When balanced, they create wholeness, flow, and mutual activation in a relationship. It is the marriage of masculine and feminine, spirit and form, purpose and presence. It is quantum. The word quantum comes from quantum physics, which studies the smallest, most fundamental parts of the universe, energy and particles. In this realm, time and space behave differently than we expect. For example, two particles can be entangled, meaning they remain connected no matter how far apart they are. A change in one instantly affects the other. When we say divine union is quantum, we mean it operates on these same energetic and spiritual principles. Your connection to your divine partner exists beyond logic, beyond distance, and beyond the timeline your mind expects. It's not about chasing or efforting, it's about frequency. When you raise your vibration, through healing, clarity, and alignment, you send out an energetic signal. Your divine mate is doing the same. And when your vibrations resonate, that connection naturally draws you together, like two tuning forks vibrating in harmony. This is how spiritual love manifests, through energy, resonance, and divine timing, not control or force. When your spirit, thoughts, and emotions become clear and coherent, you send out a signal that draws your divine partner toward you, no matter where they are. Your divine partner exists as a frequency, and you must become the resonance match. Quantum physics tells us that everything is energy vibrating at specific frequencies. You are not a solid body, you are a field of energy and information. Emotions like love, joy, and peace create high-frequency vibrations. Trauma, fear, and shame create low-frequency vibrations. When your heart and mind are in coherence, it means they are working in harmony, your thoughts, emotions, and physical body are aligned and not in conflict. Imagine a symphony where all the instruments are tuned and playing together, that's coherence. In this state, your electromagnetic field, which is the energy your body naturally emits, becomes more stable, clear, and magnetic. You feel calm, centered, focused, and because you're no longer vibrating in chaos or confusion, you begin to naturally attract people, experiences, and opportunities that match this peaceful, focused energy. You become a beacon to your divine counterpart. This is not mystical fluff. This is science backed by research in bioenergetics, quantum coherence, and heart-brain synchronization. Romantic illusion, on the other hand, is distortion. It comes from the limbic brain, which is the emotional center of your brain responsible for survival instincts, memory, and emotional reactions. This part of the brain gets activated when you feel threatened or overwhelmed, and it often drives impulsive behavior, especially in relationships. When you're stuck in trauma response or emotional addiction, the limbic brain can cause you to chase after unavailable partners, stay in toxic cycles, or confuse intensity with love. It is driven by cortisol and dopamine, not divine design. Illusion tells you to chase. Divine union teaches you to align. Ask yourself, am I entangled in spiritual fantasy or grounded in divine truth? Do I seek stimulation or sacred stillness? Can I sustain the frequency of the kind of partner I say I want? Let's go deeper. Karmic loops are not just relational patterns, they are energetic imprints embedded in your etheric field, which is the subtle body that stores emotional and spiritual information. A karmic loop occurs when an unresolved emotional experience or spiritual lesson from the past, whether from this lifetime or another, continues to repeat itself until it is healed. These loops often feel like déjà vu in relationships. You find yourself in the same argument with different people, attracted to the same type of emotionally unavailable partner, or reliving betrayal, abandonment, or rejection over and over again. Karmic loops are signs that your soul is trying to evolve through a particular lesson. They are not punishments, they are invitations to transcend cycles of pain and reclaim your power. When we ignore the lesson, the universe intensifies the experience. When we lean in with awareness, we break the loop and integrate the wisdom. These patterns can be personal, linked to your own trauma and choices, or ancestral, passed down through generational behavior and belief systems. Epigenetics is the study of how your environment and experiences, especially trauma and stress, can affect how your genes are expressed. It shows that the choices, emotions, and wounds of your ancestors can influence your emotional patterns today, even if you never met them. According to this science, trauma can be passed down for up to 14 generations through biological memory and behavioral imprinting. This means you may be carrying relationship imprints from women in your bloodline who endured betrayal, abandonment, or abuse. These are not just stories. These are energetic frequencies locked into your cellular memory. Spiritually, these loops show up as attracting the same archetype over and over, being unable to break soul ties even after long separation, feeling inexplicably bonded to someone toxic hermetically. This is the principle of cause and effect. Nothing happens by chance. Every repeated wound is a call for closure. Use the law of mentalism, which teaches that all things begin in the mind. The universe itself is a mental creation, which means your thoughts are the blueprint for your reality. What you consistently think, you begin to feel. What you feel, you attract. Speak new affirmations to your subconscious. Your mind is the womb of manifestation. Say, I cancel all karmic contracts that are not rooted in divine justice, harmony, and love. I clear the DNA memory of betrayal, abuse, and dysfunction from my lineage. I stand as the breaker of patterns and the birther of divine union. Spiritual technologies are sacred practices and tools that help you shift your energy, clear blockages, and realign with divine truth. These are not gadgets or machines, but ancient methods that work on a soul level to cleanse, activate, and elevate your spirit. Use spiritual technologies. Fasting helps reset your vibration by creating physical discipline that clears the body of toxins and the spirit of distraction. When you fast, you quiet the noise of the world and tune into higher frequencies of guidance and healing. It strengthens spiritual sensitivity and intention. Salt baths work through the principle of energy purification. Salt is a natural cleanser. It draws out dense, stagnant, or negative energy from your auric field. When combined with prayer, herbs, or essential oils, these baths help restore clarity, calm, and emotional reset. Ho'oponopono, the Hawaiian healing technique, clears subconscious resentment and attachment through 4 repeated phrases: I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. I love you. These phrases act like energetic keys that unlock emotional pain, dissolve guilt, and repair relationships, whether with others or yourself. Cord-cutting rituals symbolically and energetically sever the ties that keep you bound to unhealthy attachments. By visualizing a cord between you and another person, and cutting it through guided meditation, fire, or symbolic tools, you tell your subconscious and spirit, this connection no longer has access to drain me. You reclaim your energy. These technologies work not because of superstition, but because your intention directs energy. Combined with belief and clarity, they change the vibrational frequency of your body and spirit, allowing divine alignment to flow. Betrayal activates the same neural pathways as physical pain. When you are cheated on, emotionally abandoned, or divorced without clarity, your body interprets it as trauma. The amygdala, a small almond-shaped part of your brain, is responsible for detecting threats and activating the fight-or-flight response. When it perceives emotional danger, such as betrayal or abandonment, it floods your body with cortisol, the stress hormone. This puts your nervous system on high alert, making it hard to think clearly or feel safe, even when you're not in physical danger. You may replay memories, overanalyze details, have panic attacks, experience insomnia, or even physical illness. This is not just heartbreak. This is a somatic crisis. To spiritually prepare for divine union, you must regulate your nervous system. Trauma rewires the brain for hypervigilance. But love requires surrender. Use somatic practices. Breathwork calms the vagus nerve, a major nerve that runs from your brain down to your gut and controls many automatic bodily functions like heart rate, digestion, and mood regulation. Think of it as your body's internal reset switch. When you practice slow, deep breathing, you stimulate this nerve, which activates your parasympathetic nervous system, your rest and digest mode. This helps reduce anxiety, lower blood pressure, and create a felt sense of safety, which is essential for healing and intimacy. Deep, intentional breathing slows the heart rate, reduces cortisol, and shifts you from survival mode into a state of peace. It tells your body, we are safe now. Grounding through your feet, also known as earthing, involves standing or walking barefoot on natural surfaces like grass or soil. This helps discharge excess electromagnetic energy and reconnects your body to the stabilizing frequencies of the earth. It brings clarity, reduces anxiety, and supports emotional balance. Trauma release through movement allows your body to complete stress cycles that were frozen during past emotional pain. Practices like shaking, stretching, yoga, or even dance help discharge stored energy from your muscles and nervous system. This frees your body to feel more present and safe. EMDR therapy and other body-focused modalities retrain your brain to separate old trauma from present situations. They help you access, process, and release painful memories without being re-traumatized. Neuroplasticity-based affirmations use repetition and emotional engagement to rewire your brain's response patterns. By speaking healing truths while in a calm, embodied state, you replace old trauma-based scripts with new beliefs rooted in safety and self-worth. Somatic practices work because trauma is not just a memory, it's a physical imprint. When you heal through the body, you restore trust not only in love, but in yourself. Say, I am safe. I am whole. I am not in danger. Love is not pain. I release the trauma and make room for divine trust. In archetypal psychology, archetypes are universal patterns or symbolic characters that live in your subconscious and influence how you think, feel, and act. They include roles like the mother, the warrior, the child, and the saboteur. Your inner child is one of these archetypes, the eternal self that experienced early emotional imprints and still carries the wounds or unmet needs from childhood. If your childhood taught you, love is conditional, emotion equals weakness, your worth is tied to performance, then your adult relationships will reflect those beliefs. Let's look at 4 core archetypes we must heal and integrate. Archetypes are universal inner characters, energetic blueprints that shape your behavior, emotions, and choices, especially in relationships. They live in the subconscious and often run the script of your love life without you even realizing it. To step into divine union, you must become conscious of these patterns and lovingly transform them. 1. The wounded child. This archetype holds early memories of pain, rejection, or abandonment. It shows up when you fear people will leave you, overreact to being ignored, or feel unworthy of love. The wounded child tends to cling or shut down when emotionally overwhelmed. Healing this part means giving your inner child the attention, protection, and validation they never received. 2. The orphan. This archetype believes no one will truly be there for them. It often develops from actual abandonment or neglect in early life. It manifests as hyperindependence, mistrust, or the belief that needing someone is dangerous. The orphan may push people away before they get too close. Healing this energy means learning to receive love, support, and care without suspicion or shame. 3. The victim. This part of you carries unresolved trauma and can get stuck in a loop of helplessness or blame. You might feel like love always hurts or that others always take advantage of you. While your pain is valid, the victim archetype can unconsciously attract or recreate suffering. Healing here means reclaiming your power, telling a new story, and seeing yourself as the chooser, not the chosen for. 4. The saboteur. This archetype fears success in love because it associates intimacy with danger or loss. Even when a healthy relationship appears, the saboteur may create drama, pick fights, or withdraw. It says, if I destroy this first, I won't have to feel abandoned later. Healing this archetype involves learning that love can be safe, consistent, and nourishing, and that you are capable of sustaining it. To heal these archetypes, spend time with each one in meditation or journaling. Ask, what does this part of me need to feel safe and whole? Offer compassion instead of criticism. As each archetype is healed, your internal system becomes more integrated, peaceful, and sovereign. You stop looking for someone to rescue or complete you. You begin to choose love from a place of wholeness, readiness, and divine alignment. The divine masculine and feminine are not roles, they are frequencies. These are sacred energies that exist within every person, regardless of gender. They represent the 2 core forces through which all of creation unfolds. When balanced within us, they guide how we give and receive love, how we relate to purpose, and how we experience intimacy. The divine masculine is the sacred container. It represents structure, direction, action, and presence. At its highest vibration, it expresses grounded leadership without ego, protection that is emotional, spiritual, and physical, purpose-driven thinking and visionary clarity, reliability and commitment, calm assertiveness, and the ability to hold space when wounded. The masculine becomes controlling or domineering, emotionally distant or unavailable, hyperrational to avoid vulnerability, obsessed with productivity and external success. The divine feminine is the sacred flow. She represents intuition, creation, receptivity, and emotional depth. At her highest vibration, she expresses deep empathy and emotional intelligence, creativity and sensual expression, nurturing, intuition, and inner knowing, softness that doesn't equate to weakness, magnetic presence and openness to divine guidance. When wounded, the feminine becomes overly self-sacrificing or codependent, emotionally reactive or manipulative, lacking boundaries, seeking external validation instead of trusting inner wisdom. When the masculine and feminine within are in balance, you become both stable and intuitive, driven and receptive, directive and open-hearted. This balance is not about being half and half, it's about being fluid, wise, and aware of what each moment calls for. In divine union, this internal harmony is reflected in the partnership. The masculine energy provides sacred structure, the feminine energy fills it with love, creativity, and flow. Together, they do not compete. They co-create. They amplify one another. Their union becomes a frequency that calls in divine assignment, healing, and legacy. Your preparation for divine union must begin with restoring these energies within yourself first. This is a concept known in quantum physics where 2 things become deeply connected in such a way that the state of one instantly influences the state of the other, even if they are separated by vast distances. This connection is called quantum entanglement. Quantum entanglement explains this. When 2 particles interact, they become linked, no matter the distance. What happens to one affects the other. Likewise, your spiritual preparation affects your divine partner, even if they don't consciously know you yet. You are quantumly entangled with the one written for you. This is why your healing matters. Your frequency matters. You becoming ready creates a ripple in the field. And your divine partner feels it, even across timelines. This is your activation moment. Stand or sit with reverence. Speak aloud, I am the embodiment of divine love. I harmonize my masculine and feminine. I align with divine timing, not ego's urgency. I am clear. I am ready. I am worthy of sacred union. Prayer, great architect of the universe, awaken the sacred coordinates of divine union within me. Remove all residue of past distortion. May my aura emit truth, love, and light. Let my path intersect with my divine mate, not through seeking, but through resonance. Let us rise together in mission, mastery, and mutual reverence. Amen. Affirmations, I am vibrationally aligned with divine love. My union is written, sealed, and being prepared. I heal forward with joy and authority. I trust divine timing. I am a match to sacred partnership. Breathe. Now walk in your divine becoming. Let's pause to reflect on the path we've walked together. You've learned that divine union is not a fantasy, it is a spiritual alignment rooted in purpose, frequency, and healing. We explored how quantum principles, like resonance and entanglement, explain why your energy must align before your divine partner arrives. We unpacked karmic loops and ancestral patterns, recognizing that what you don't heal, you repeat. You've now seen how trauma, emotional, neurological, or inherited, shapes your relationships until it is released through somatic and spiritual practices. We dove into the subconscious realms of archetypes, the wounded child, the orphan, the victim, and the saboteur, and how they silently script your love life. And we activated their healing with compassion and truth. We explored sacred polarity, the divine masculine and feminine frequencies that exist within each of us. You now understand how balance within attracts balance without, and how internal union prepares you for external partnership. Beloved, this was not just knowledge. This was activation. You are not behind. You are not forgotten. You are not too broken to love or be loved. Every breath you've taken to heal. Every tear you've cried in prayer. Every time you chose alignment over addiction was a step toward the partner your soul already knows. So be encouraged. Your divine mate is being prepared even as you are. They are praying for you, growing for you, and becoming for you, just as you are for them. Walk in expectation, not desperation. Stay grounded. Stay open. Stay in mission. Your divine union is not a matter of if, it is only a matter of when. And when it comes, it will be worth the wait, the work, and the warfare. Peace be unto you. If this message resonated with your spirit, subscribe for more guided teachings, activations, and practices on how to manifest your divine mission mate. And if this message spoke directly to your soul, type received in the comments to affirm your agreement and alignment. Your journey is sacred, and you're not alone in it.